crypto assets. Which one's the best? 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 What's the second best?
This is Discover Crypto. I'm your host, DZ. Thank you for joining, everybody. Smash the like buttons. Every day on this channel, we teach you how to make money with digital assets. And we got major news for Ethereum holders. It looks like Altseason is here. We're going to tell you what is the latest fuel for this rally. And it's involving, some say, one of the world's most powerful people, maybe even as powerful as Donald Trump is what some would say. TJ, how are you doing today?
I am doing great, feeling great. You guys know I was the holding the line with Ethereum, telling you not to sell your ETH while everybody was saying it was going to zero and Solana was going to replace it. I was screaming, they're all wrong. All stable coins go through ETH. All DeFi goes through ETH. We're seeing that happen today. Seeing DeFi, almost all of our picks. Actually, shout out to Crypto Veteran and DeFi Crypto Airdrops, our other channel there. He tweeted last night a lot of the different picks that we've made. I mean, we've been crushing it with Arrow, with Aave, with Curve, with Morpho and Ondo, and almost everything we've been picking in the last couple of years has just been absolutely ripping these last few weeks. So excited to be here. I do still need your screen so I can share it because these prices are going crazy. ETH is going crazy. People are asking for TA.
Well, really, me and TJ were debating the merits of waifus on XAI.
Yeah,
real story.
We're talking about the future of society and are we all cooked or not? The answer is we are, and we have been for a long time.
Yeah, that's essentially, a lot of people are like, oh, this is the catalyst that's going to cook society. Like, we've been cooked. We've been done. Have you not seen the tea leaves? This has been inexorable march through the tides of time, and it's just going to happen one way or the other. But speaking of tides of time, you can't stop Bitcoin. And right now we're looking Bitcoin still, holding strong, looking at a very, very important level right here. This is where we acted as resistance. This is Tuesday evening at, this is Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. We had a little bit of rejection, started to find a little bit of a bottom. We talked about the 1 hour RSI starting to get a little overheated. If you remember yesterday, we were saying, watch the curves. Do you remember the streams yesterday? We're like, oh, we went to the 30-minute candle, watched it as it turned over. We're like, all right, looks like things are going to start shifting to the upside here on the relative strength index. And Bitcoin said, you know what, DZ, you're right. And all the bears, they got DZ'd, everybody. But now we're looking at a very, very important inflection point as Bitcoin tries to choose a direction. Now, TJ, you can see support right here. Support right here, rejection right here, rejection right here. Are we going to turn this into support? If you had to choose a direction, I mean, choose which way, Western man. What do you got?
You're talking about, that's Bitcoin's chart, right?
Bitcoin right here. This is 1 hour candles.
Yeah, I think we're going to go up. I mean, it's showing insane amount of strength. I mean, there was even, some Middle Eastern tensions going on, I guess you could say, bombs dropping all over, and it really didn't seem to affect the price as much as I would have expected in the past. So, yeah, every time we see a bearish catalyst on Bitcoin, it seems to pick up and cover very, very quickly. Insane amount of strength, really, at that one, just below. Really, I mean, it cleared out at 115. That we talked about it earlier in the week that there was a lot of liquidity down at those 115 levels, wiped out most of that. And it seems like insane buying pressure all the way around, whether it's ETFs or not. I wanted to pull this up maybe when we get a chance. Said BTC dominance broke a trend line.
Oh yeah, we're going to look at Bitcoin dominance. We're going to look at ETH dominance, and we're going to look at Bitcoin ETH. So we got a lot of stuff to share with you today. But first, let's just look at the broad general market. Where are things heading? Where are your altcoins heading? Are they pumping? Are they dumping here? And we're going to hit refresh because we like that fresh data. Bitcoin's up about 1%, but look at that ETH pump, 6.5%. Solana is up 5%. Tron, a little flat, only 1.7%. Cardano, 3.9%. SWI, also kind of flat, but a lot of these tokens have just done better on the 7-day charts here. HBAR with a little 3.2% pump, and Avalanche, the 5.6%. But let's look. What is the biggest movers? It's going to be the meme coins that are recovering. SPX is up. Bonk is up. Pump.fun is up. And then we have some solid projects. We got Curve DAO.
I have a huge.
This is one of your. This is one of your holdings, if I'm not mistaken. It is up 46%.
I'm really glad to see that because it needed it. But yeah, Curve moving really, really well. Sonic obviously is another one on there that we've pushed a lot. Arrow is another one that's done really well. Injective, another thing I hold. Nice to see it
Ooh,
recovering.
I didn't realize Chainlink was up 8% today.
Chainlink's moving, Pendle's moving. I mean, it really is. And all of those things are DeFi adjacent or just direct DeFi. I mean, you don't have DeFi for the most part without Chainlink, and you don't have it without Ethereum. You don't have it without airdrop. You know, Curve. Most stable coins need Curve for a lot of different things. So yeah, almost everything in my portfolio has been doing extremely well.
And Aave up to 330. We jumped in.
Oh yeah, Aave
on that one, so we feel pretty good. I can't recall exactly what we got in. I want to say maybe somewhere. I think it was below 250 for sure, and I thought it was below 225. So I don't know. Maybe I got like a nice little. Yeah, I thought it lasted a little bit longer than I was thinking. But now let's look at the dumpers here. These are the coins that aren't doing so hot, and it is going to be Pi and Leo
scam
in the way.
Not Leo. Pi is a scam.
Pi or pie or cake.
I'm pie. Actually, I'd take pie over cake any day. I'm not a huge.
Say that.
I'm not a huge cake person.
I'm not a huge pie guy.
You're not a huge pie guy?
I'm not a pie guy.
I love ice cream. Really, the answer is which goes better with ice cream, and pie definitely goes better with ice cream.
Lactose intolerant, so now you're just speaking another language. But I do like pie gal. All right, let's talk about ETH though. We're going to talk about ETH for a minute, then we'll switch over to Bitcoin. Then we're going to talk about your altcoins. We got XRP stuff. We got Cardano stuff. We're going to talk about Solana. But Q2, this is just a nice assessment for Ethereum. This is going to be April, May, and June. RWAs on ETH increased 48%. DeFi loans surged 43%. ETH held by public entities, 58x. And ETH balance on central exchanges, 8-year low. ETH season might finally be here. And I'm saying it is here. And this is the catalyst. I was going to tell you, this is the fuel for the rocket ship. What was it? The person that's some say even more powerful than Donald Trump, Peter Thiel. And before we get into what BitMine is and what exactly they're doing here with this 9% stake, TJ, what are your thoughts on Peter Thiel, founder or co-founder of Palantir?
Oh, that's a loaded question. What are my thoughts?
Planet Tars.
Well, speaking of cooking society, I don't know. Let's see. Shadow State, put JD Vance in his seat. A lot of people would say,
put him in the Senate, not only the VP seat.
Yeah, I mean, he basically fast tracked his entire
career.
That
movie made, got the book published.
So this is a very powerful statement, I would say, for Ethereum. This is a very good sign if you're an ETH holder. This is what I'll say. The last thing I saw, I think it was like 2 days ago, I watched a clip of Peter Thiel literally crashing out on stage on an interview when people asked him about, how he feels about his technology being used to target specific people to be able to kill them, basically. And yeah, you're using Palantir's tech to target individuals for, to drop bombs on them. And he just literally crashed out. So,
he also had a crash. I was like, should humanity exist? He's like, you just can't say yeah.
Yeah.
Say yeah.
Or I saw another time somebody asked him if he might be the Antichrist. He couldn't give a straight answer on that. He was like,
go into that.
So obviously, that's a little tongue in cheek. He's an extremely intelligent person.
Horns.
I'm not exactly sure what my full opinion of him is. He's extremely intelligent. I'll give him that. He's extremely successful. He's created some insanely sophisticated and useful technologies. Well, now whether you're going to use them for good or for evil, that's to be determined. But I'd say he could give Elon Musk a run for his money for who could be the Lex Luthor of our time. That's the kind of the vibe I get.
would say that's fair. Yeah, him and Elon, Lex Luthor, they're top of the running for sure. All right, let's get into this. So Peter Thiel bought a stake in a crypto company, BitMine. Let's back up a little bit. What exactly is BitMine? What does BitMine do? BitMine Immersion Technologies. It's a blockchain technology company. They focus on two coins, Bitcoin and Ethereum. They do Bitcoin mining, industrial scale Bitcoin mining using immersion cooling technology, submerging these rigs in a fluid to enhance performance, really just keep the heat low. But they also have a ETH treasury strategy. They have shifted their focus to accommodate ETH as a primary treasury reserve asset. Primary treasury reserve asset, meaning their number one, they're shifting to this being their number one holding. They've raised $250 million to purchase ETH, aiming to benefit from the stablecoin transactions and DeFi. They also got some advising, mining as a service, synthetic mining, etc. But ETH treasury is the focus of what we're talking about right here. So Peter Thiel, very important, powerful person, co-founder of Palantir. He is in BitMine immersion, and then he almost did it and tried to do it in a sneaky way. So it pumped 12% after the bell as billionaire venture capitalist Peter Thiel scooped up over 9% stake in the firm. He bought $5 million through various arms of his venture capital firm, Founders Fund, amounting to a 9.1 stake. So he, kind of did it through this subsidiary and this LLC and this Canary Island company over there, and then eventually ended up with almost 10% of this company. Now, he's best known for co-founding PayPal and Palantir Technologies. His estimated net worth, $22 billion. That's only 92, the 92nd richest person in the world. I think that's just interesting, right? 22 billion barely gets you in the top 100.
Yeah, there's a big jump too between like the top, the bottom 90 and the top 10. Even within the top 10, jumps up pretty fast. But Sam, the carpet man,
big shout out.
Yeah, big shout out to DZ there. Thank you for your support and the commentary. You guys are a pleasure to watch. DZ, you're killing it. You have a great personality for TV. Keep it up. I'll keep supporting you guys.
Yeah, go follow his channel, everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, go click on that. He has another channel. He's been on ATB, met him in person. Very, very nice guy and taller in person than you would think. All right, that was a compliment. That kind of came out back. Now he's a strapping lad. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, earlier this month. Sorry, bro. Sorry, Sam. Earlier this month, Thiel and other tech billionaires filed for a bank charter to launch a new financial institution called Erebor. Why do they call it Erebor? They love Middle Age. I'm sorry, Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth. Yeah. They just love Middle Earth. They can't get enough of it. Which aims to fill the void created by the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank in 2023. Do you know where Palantir comes from? The name?
I don't know.
It was the seeing stones used by Saruman and Sauron to communicate.
Okay, I was going to say, because I have heard it compared to the Eye of Sauron, but I didn't know that's really where it came from.
Yeah, when you're like not answering the question, are you the Antichrist? And then you're like, yeah, I want to use Saruman's all-seeing orb as my company's name. Like, dang, you couldn't choose Shire?
Yeah, right. Anything else?
Anything else? Literally, I'd take Smog at that point. Yeah. All right, now in June, they're reportedly leading $200 million funding round for Polymarket at a $1 billion valuation. So the man has his fingers in a lot of different crypto pies here, or crypto cake.
Interesting, though, Polymarket, another predictions market, so what kind of data does that give? And, basically most of what they're doing is predictive analytics.
Remember when they were raided by, I believe it was the FBI, it was shortly after the election, and they raided their offices and confiscated all their laptops.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to have those types of raids anymore, because he closed this deal in June, and that raid, I believe, happened might have been right after, might have been November, December. There was when Biden's was still in office there.
You think there's any connection? Do a raid.
Now we're going into tinfoil hat theory. My gut says yes.
Yeah. Do a raid, get some leverage. Hey, I'll buy some.
If I had to say, it's like, oh, is he trying to manipulate? If I were this all powerful seeing, if I was really trying to manipulate things, I would just not allow certain bets on the platform. That's how I would massage the data there.
There you go.
So, all right, well, we'll see. All right, we'll see if they still do election results in the midterms.
I am talking to Polymarket right now. I'm in DM, so we are, hey, we like Polymarket. We'll make bets.
Yeah, we go to it all the time, and there's a reason powerful people are scared of it, because of how accurate it was with the 24 elections.
There you go.
All right, 119. Looks like maybe Bitcoin's having a little bounce here. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. All right. Okay. What is that? A pump for ants? Let's go back to the article. Now, shares ended down 2.5%, but then rallied after the announcement, according to Google Finance. And their ETH bet here, they say they now hold more than $500 million worth of Ether in its treasury. They have 163,000 tokens, which were bought at an average price of 3,072. Let's just say they're not going to be happy with a little bit of a pump. So maybe 10K ETH is back on the menu this cycle.
Absolutely. DJ. It definitely is. I mean, I think we were saying 6 to 8. I think we may not have been bullish enough. I've been saying that over and over on X. And 10K ETH. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. I'm not saying it's even very likely, but it's definitely in the cards.
All right. And you're saying he's also an investor in Arkham.
Yeah. Somebody was asking, so Palantir is going to be spying on every aspect of our finances. Yeah, he is. He's a major equity holder in Arkham, which is the major on-chain analytics firm So there you go.
I mean, consensus spies on every ETH transaction there is.
That's
gives it
what
packages all up and gives it to the government agencies on a nice platter there. So yeah, I mean, you're being spied on. You could trade Monero and just use Monero exclusively, but even that some say. But let's get into ETH price predictions in the short term, because I saw some confluence nobody else is talking about. This is a DZ original TA here, and so we're right now looking at the daily chart. I think there's a pretty clear trend line here. You can see we shot above it. This is, oh man, things are bullish. This is after the Trump pump. But then you'll see bearish divergence on the RSI. I mean, it's actually very, very bearish, shockingly bearish. So here you can see the price, heading to the upside on the wicks there. Maybe the candle body's not. But look how sharply deviated that RSI heads to the downside. So this was a clear short position for ETH. If you jumped in on that one, congrats. But let's look at this trend line. So this is going to be short-term stop. But I saw something else, TJ, with the fib extension. I'm going to draw a new one here. We do have an existing, but let me go ahead and draw a new one. So we're going to go from the swing high down to the swing low. And the first thing I like to do is determine, does it actually pay attention to the fib levels? I would say this is a yes. This is a yes. You can see, a lot of action in this point, a lot of action around here. And now we're kind of shooting past the 618, heading to the 786. TJ, look at that.
Wow.
Almost a perfect confluence right there.
Yeah.
And so this, to me, is going to be a pretty strong short-term target. And if it actually happened like right at the intersection, that would be magnificent. If it does, it's going to be on the 29th of July. Might actually happen a lot faster than that. And this is going to be right at a $3,500 ETH. So this is my short-term price prediction. I think we are going to head to 3,500 pretty quickly here.
Yeah, I agree. 3,500 by the end of this, over the next 2 weeks, basically, extremely likely. I mean, I'm hearing people talk about $4,000 before the end of this month. And then, then we're right.
And then you want to see what's next?
Yeah, we're getting close to all time.
Well, let's see. The 1618, we have now we're in price discovery, right? This is going to be
we got to get above 4,500, but yeah.
There's definitely going to be a lot of selling pressure at the previous all-time highs. A lot of selling pressure. This is 2021 in November, so expect we got pretty close to 5K rejected. I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of crabs around that range. A wick up to 5K, maybe even a higher wick to make you think it's a breakout, and then it's going to dump to the downside. Recool, recharge its batteries. And then I think we get a $5,800 ETH. Next level, now we're starting, this is, I think, it's probably about where we're going to head up. The 2618 is going to give us an $8,500 ETH. But then we got the perfect scenario. Palantir keeps pumping it. He's got, BB's buying it. Everybody's buying it. The 3618, $11,000 Ethereum. And then True Moon Math, the 4236, looking at a $13,000 ETH. 12,000.
Now you're getting me excited.
Woo!
$13,000 ETH. Do we come back or do we just leave?
That to me is a $5 or $10 ADA. That's like, am I on a yacht at that point? I don't know what's going to happen.
No, we'll still be here because we care about you guys. That's why
I eat, sleep, breathe crypto. Yeah. And I'm going to do that. If you do it in the bear market, you're going to do it in the bull market too.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. Bitcoin approaching 120. Oh yeah, we're going to go maybe even 130. Now let's get into ETH relative to Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Virtual Bacon. ETH finally forming higher lows on its Bitcoin pair. It hasn't done that since 2023. Momentum is shifting. And then we got Rec Capital looking at ETH dominance. It has now reached over 10% market dominance in an uptrend. First time since March 2020. So we got an uptrend. First time since March 2020. Then we have higher lows. First time since 2023. Momentum and shifting. And then we have, the technical target here. I think we're on the regular chart. Yeah, we're on regular chart. We predicted, all right, it looks like we're going to break to the upside. Look at the daily candles, TJ. Boom, perfectly. That is a great daily candle on ETH. I'm not saying this is confirming Altseason, but this is exactly what Altseason will look like if it is happening. And so I'm choosing up only.
Yeah, I mean, Altseason's here. I mean, if you guys, if you know the typical chart, which I think I did just post. I mean, I don't think I have my screen in here. Give me just a second to do that.
And ETH consistently makes lower highs against Bitcoin.
Yes, it pretty much always has been. You're trying to catch this window, but here's this tab. There we go. I mean, so this is the very standard chart that everybody knows. Starts with Bitcoin. You get a little bit where they're both pumping, and then phase 2 is when Ethereum is out pumping Bitcoin. Bitcoin's chilling. Ethereum's making, Bitcoin's up 1%, Ethereum's up 8%. Things like that we're seeing literally right now. And even Crypto shared it recently that for a brief window of time, we're going to be in alt season. You'll see large cap moves, and then you'll see the micro caps. And this is the season we're in. Generally speaking, this is when they're in risk on money printing mode. So we're going to see signs of this. I think ETH is going to make up ground over the next couple months. And then if we get a rate cut, I don't think we're going to get it in July, but whenever we do get it, September, when rate cuts come, that's when you start to see the micro caps absolutely start flying. And we want to be a little bit careful not to get too excited, because really what we're seeing is just assets keeping up with inflation on some level. This is not necessarily like, oh, Ethereum at $5,000 today is a new. It's not really even an all-time high compared to 4,500 back in 2021. If you apply approximately 11% inflation that we've been experiencing, if you look at like actual goods and services, it's been about 11% a year. So we're barely starting to get into new all-time highs for Bitcoin right now. But yeah, that's I think we're going to be seeing some insane numbers on altcoins towards the second part of this year. So we got super chat here. Yeah. You guys think NEAR can 10x? My bag is on the way down. You can pull that up.
I'll tell you what. So what we need for a 10x is a 900% pump. If you pump 100%, that's a 2x. If you pump 900%, that's a 10x. This is the NEAR chart on the weekly. And so there are a couple things I like about NEAR. One of the first things I do like, consistent higher lows. There are not many newer, especially the ones that launched around 2020 to 22. There are not many altcoins that consistently have given us higher lows. NEAR is in that rarefied air. I think SWI is going to be in that realm too. But most of them do not look like this. And so this, to me, very, very bullish. Next thing we got is, all right, well, what's the next stop? The next stop is probably either going to be this trend line or, basically this point of resistance that's also been flipped into support. I think this is going to be a very important level. This is right around $7.50. Also, we got the $10 psychological level. We'll see if that plays. But let's see, do we get a 900%? Because this is kind of what I'm expecting. And let's just say, it happens in December. We get another confluence here, 900%. I mean, you might get a 2.85x. I don't know if you're going to get a 10x this cycle. It's a lot more crowded today than it was right here when it comes to L1s that are performing, that are, have strong throughput and transactions per second, et cetera, et cetera. And so I don't know if we can hit $20 again. Now, one last thing I would say, let's look at the token dilution. So I think that's going to be important here.
That is important, yeah.
So we look at price, and then we look at the market cap and see, did the market cap spike, aka VCs are just cashing out on your head. Market cap, drum roll, please. It's not terrible.
Not terrible.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, I still am undecided. I think I wouldn't rule it out with some of these, because NEAR has definitely been a big mover. I can't decide yet if I think it's going to be a season of winner, a few winner take alls in a couple different categories, like we see, because I agree, the L1 space is getting a little crowded. You've got, old coins and new coins. You've got the SWIs, you've got the Solanas, you've got the ADAs and the XRPs and the Ethereums and the Avalanche, and you can just keep going and going and going. NEAR definitely has the AI narrative at its back, which I do think will be very strong this cycle. But I can't decide if we're going to see just the entire space elevate dramatically, or big winners like that have institutional backing, things like SharpLink buying ETH and MicroStrategy buying Bitcoin, and we just see those just run away, or if we see some of these other ones close the gap. I wouldn't rule it out to see them break and get at least back to previous all-time highs, but the longer we go and the more money that floods in without seeing that happen, the less likely it becomes that they reclaim all-time highs. So, but NEAR, strong project. If I held some, I would not be selling it right now. I'd just be holding it for a moon bag and wait to see what happens. I do have this here from Crypto Moose. Said, I know we know Arculus is a sponsor, but do you recommend other wallets for those who want to self-custody? There's all sorts of different wallets. I don't know if you're talking about software wallets, but as you mentioned, yeah, Arculus is a partner of ours, somebody that's supported this channel for a long time. It's one of the best wallets out there, has 3-factor authentication, a lot of different security metrics that make it very, very good. And if you purchase it with our discount code, because you're part of our community, you do get a 20% discount So check this out real quick. It's code DC20, and we'll be right back. We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone, and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. It's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the top. God, I was looking skinny back then. I need to get back in shape, or shoot a new ad, one or the other. But generally speaking, no matter what coin or what wallet you're going to use, make sure you buy it directly from the manufacturer. Never buy it secondhand. Never buy it on Amazon, because you just never know what's been tampered with. And this is supposed to be basically like your vault. So hold it with care.
All right, now we got a $5 super chat here from this person. Can I share the screen? This is Zima, and Zima is saying, I'll throw it up.
All right,
is it a good time to buy Algo at its current price, and how much do you see it going to? All right, well, Zima, you're already a few degrees cooler, and so let me throw even more ice water on your head here. To me, yeah, sure, it's probably going to pump with all altcoins, but I think other altcoins are going to pump harder, and the main reason is Tether has winded down support for Algo. It's one of the 5 chains: Bitcoin Cash, Kusama, EOS, and Omni. And so Algorand is one of these 5 tokens. To me, this is not a good sign long term, and to me, this spells you're going to continuously bleed against Bitcoin. There's no reversing it after this.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's one thing to not have support, and it's one thing to have support and then have it removed. It's like you were on Coinbase, and then Coinbase kicked you off. It's a lot worse than not being on Coinbase yet.
Yep. And there's a reason. There's usually a reason. It's for inactivity. It's for no demand. It's basically Tether saying we think this is a dead chain. So it's been.
You might kind of like, oh well, they don't want to play Tether's games. No, if there's enough transaction volume, they would just allow it. They would just have it on there.
Yeah. And like you said, it will have spikes. It will have random pumps. But if you just look at it on the long term, it's more or less down only. So.
All right. Pepe added 12,000 wallets in a week. If that's true, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I am bullish on Pepe over Shiba, and when I was looking at the meme coins, Pepe has been outperforming on the 14-day, the 7-day. So if you listen to that thesis, you're doing pretty good.
And Pepe is a true meme too. It's a classic meme of the internet. It's almost, I'd almost put it in that almost Doge-like category. So
let me add a Tap Tools tab to my Cardano section, because I gave I don't post the DZ drop zone all that often, because I'm not switching my cryptos around. I'm not like in it. I'm not like chasing pumps too often here. But I did another post yesterday for the Discord. We're gonna check in. I sold Cardano.
Ooh,
I sold Cardano for this altcoin, and we're gonna check in on that trade towards the end of the show during the ADA section. Now, you brought up SharpLink. Well, you probably saw SharpLink bought $20 million worth of ETH today. Smart money keeps stacking Ethereum. So SharpLink is still buying more and more and more and more. Now, ETH's crucial breakout is pointing at a 30% rally versus Bitcoin next. I want to just throw some little extra TA against you. So it's up 50% since April. It broke key resistance levels. We talked about those levels there. Went to 0.267, highest level in 4 months, as it confirmed the breakout from the bull flag pattern. Now, it's also, this is what I want to share. It is broken above the 200-day EMA for the first time in over a year. So we're up above the EMA, first time in a year. Very, very bullish. This typically is what you want to see in an uptrend. And ETH, God, that is just such an ugly downtrend. This is going from October 2024, just bleeding. And then you can see the bull flag pennant right there. We do have a technical target right around here. So this alt season might last for a few weeks. Just prepare yourself and make sure you allocate it correctly.
Real quick, I'm seeing some questions about like, why isn't this coin moving? Why isn't that coin? Like, why isn't Ondo getting any love right now? And it just keep in mind, guys, every coins pump in different cycles. So it's not like every coin is going to pump every day. If your coin isn't pumping today, just relax. It probably either pumped a week or two ago, or it's going to pump in a week or two from now. So, tons of coins pumping today. We're about to cross back over one time. Man, Aerodrome's up 15% today, 30% for the week. I mean, yeah, it's fun to see when all your coins are moving, but I can also feel sometimes your coin isn't moving, and that's okay. Don't overtrade. The one thing I can see a lot of new faces flooding back in right now. Like this ETH pump is really getting a lot of retail re-engaged again, which is great. But I will say, don't overtrade. If your coin isn't moving today and you're feeling FOMO because all these other coins are moving, don't buy the top of a pump when your coin hasn't moved. Like, it's literally the worst thing you can do. Just, you're literally selling a coin that hasn't pumped yet for a coin that has. And I've seen this happen time and time again. You swap for this one, and then this one comes up, and you start to get FOMO again, and you swap back, and then this one pulls back, and people just literally out trade themselves. If you haven't been watching our channel for the last couple of years and accumulating and positioning, don't worry, you still have plenty of time, but you do need to start building into these major coins. But I would say
consolidate.
Yeah, consolidate. Don't overtrade. Patience is the #1 way to make money in crypto. All you have to do is show up, accumulate, learn, and study, and stay in the market, and you're going to be okay.
Time in the market beats timing the market.
Absolutely.
Now, we have on that note, speaking of consolidation, what do you think about Say? Well, I'll tell you what I say. I've said, I don't know when I first started saying this, not like a year ago, but months ago, I would swap all my Say into SWE. And since they both launched, because they launched within months of each other, I said SWE and Say always kind of move in tandem. And I honestly think because they're spelled so similarly, I know it sounds dumb, but you got to think of the retail mind here. I think you should swap all your Say into SWE. I've been saying that at least a few months here. This is why, though. When you go to the max chart on Say, this is what you're seeing. When you go to the max chart on SWE, this is what you're seeing. Now, what about when they launched? So SWE came out May 2023. And Say came out in August 2023. So they came out, relatively close to each other. Everything started pumping around the tail end of 2023 because a little bit of a bottom of the market. You can see it pump there. But then SWE is just consistently putting in higher highs. 24 after the IBIT BlackRock got approved. This is Bitcoin ETFs were approved. Most altcoins pumped into March. It is higher. It is significantly higher than where it was in March. So SWE went from $2 and now it's $4. Say, wow, you're actually down. You're actually down. So my thesis stays the same here. So hopefully you're not too over allocated into Say. I mean, if Say outpumps SWE over the next 2 weeks, don't get super mad at me. I'm talking about like a 2-year timeline. So that's my Say statement.
That's what you say.
That's what I say, folks. That's what I say. That's the bottom line because DZ said so. Now let's talk about Trump and the Trump pump. Are we going to get these bills passed? What the heck is going on with these bills? Maybe by noon today, TJ, Trump cut a deal to end Republicans' revolt on the crypto bills. I don't do it all that often. I talk about persuasion. This is a classic tell right here, using the word revolt. So they're saying the Republicans are in revolt. Trump says he's convinced most of the Republican lawmakers who pulled support for the 3 crypto bills to vote in favor when the House meets again on Wednesday. Said this on Truth Social that he met with 11 of the 12 no's and convinced them to vote in favor of the legislation. After a short discussion, they have all agreed to vote tomorrow morning in favor of the rule. What do you think he said to them, TJ? Did he threaten them? Was he persuasive?
I think he just said we need to get this done. Now, here's what's interesting to me. There's a lot of, do you know why people were pushing back on it? Did you hear the news of
I have MTG's statement.
Okay, let's see what you got.
I voted no because it did not have a ban on CBDCs.
Exactly. So they were starting to slide in some language that potentially would have allowed central bank digital currencies, which a lot of people, Republicans and full parties, have been very loud about saying we do not want central bank digital currencies. Now, potentially, I don't know if they've revised it to remove that language or if he's come through and said, hey, we just need to vote it through as it is. It's good. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. That's a little scary to me. That's what they say a lot with these bills of like, yeah, we couldn't get it all perfect because of politics, but we got it good enough. What they're saying is big money and lobbyists paid a lot of money to have certain things in there, and we can't get it out. So it's going to stay, and we're going to have to deal with it. And if that's the case of what's going on with some of these CBDCs, because if I understand it correctly, basically the way it was worded was CBDCs can't be sold directly to the public. So we can't have a central bank digital currency that goes straight from the Fed to somebody like me and you, but they can still do it for banks.
They're still issuing $1 billion in a treasury note versus $1 billion of CBDC coin.
Right.
But then that treasury note gets sent straight to Tether or Circle, and then they create the billion.
Or Bank of America or Chase.
Yeah, JP Morgan.
That's kind of what I'm talking about.
Morgan
all
Stanley.
They're doing is they're not allowing them to go straight to the public and cutting out all the, basically JP
Morgan Stanley wants the yield.
Right.
That's what it boils down to.
They want to still stay in the middle. And if we allow that,
I want to be this guy.
Yeah, I don't think that's good. But either way, I do think these things are going to pass, whether it's today, tomorrow, in the next few weeks. It's ultimately, it will pump all of our bags. I don't want to see CBDCs. I think it's bad for civilization. But
what about a Trump coin? Trump the USD1, Trump stable.
Yeah, what do I think about it?
Yeah,
I don't think it. I think it's we're going to see all sorts of different stable coins. They're all going to compete. I think it's going to increase demand on the dollar. And
Huck has the alpha. He knows what convinced the 11 lawmakers. He said, "Hey, I'll airdrop you some Trump."
There you go. Hey, I need that's the only meme coin I hold right now is Trump. So hey,
and then he called up Barron. He's like, "Yeah, don't send him Trump. Send him Melania."
Yeah.
And then they check their wallet. They're like, "That's not what I'm
changing my vote." Yeah.
Ah, man, I'm saying hard no now.
So I don't know. Either way, I don't know if they changed the language. Hopefully they did. I don't think we're going to be able to just cut off the central banks, but there's some very truly, I would say that central bank cartel is the most powerful group of people in the world, most likely. So I don't think we're just going to shove them out of the economy. So.
All right. Now there was someone saying Trump is the best used car salesman. Andy, the best used car salesman I have ever seen.
Top KOL of our time.
He is the most persuasive president, I think, in my living memory for sure.
I just want to be in his paid group. Where is that link?
All right. You can only choose one Trump son to be in their paid group.
Barron. No question.
It is Barron, right? Because they're like the Solana coins.
Barron.
It's Barron.
I think Barron is. I mean, hey, I don't want to speak negatively about any of them, but high ceiling on Barron. I think
talking about his height, right? Because he has to like duck through doors.
Yeah, I think Junior and Eric, they're doing a good job as well. But
Eric told us to buy ETH, and then ETH dumped, and like now it's in the green from like 4 months ago.
Right.
We're like, thanks, I guess.
No, follow Trump's calls. Trump called the bottom. He said buy stocks here, and then he pumped it. And he said now's probably a good time to get into crypto, and then he pumped it. I'm following Trump's calls, not Eric's.
Yeah, he knows more than his kids, that's for sure. At least except for maybe Barron with the Solana ecosystem. But now we do have what did I want? Oh yeah, this Kyle Dupes is reporting here. Now we have a new vote, 12:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So literally 64 minutes from now, we might see major candles, folks. I would not be leverage trading during this moment unless you're like really looking at some liquidity levels and you got some really good entries. Any news on the midnight airdrop? Well, you might not be aware. We did a video on it. I don't have it here. Boom, here we go. Discover crypto. You go to videos. I think I put midnight in the title. Cardano's massive midnight free airdrop. Are you eligible? So we got all the alpha right there.
Yeah,
so
a lot of good comments on that. People said it was very informative, very helpful video.
I think it's the best midnight video out there because Cardano's filled with nerds, neats, INTJs. They can't even wait. Your name's TJ.
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence?
Did you see some of those numbers that it's a very high percentage of Bitcoin holders are INTJ, and then
and that's is that called the Breyer-Miggs personality? Briggs-Meyer.
Yeah, Briggs-Meyer personality thing, which I don't know what I am and all that stuff, but yeah. And then I think it was like 95% of crypto holders have two of the letters. I don't remember which one.
And probably 95% of the disco fam as well. Smash that like button. You know I'm talking about you. You with the fidget spinner 15 years ago. All right, now let's talk about Cantor Fitzgerald. This is who does tethers at test stations. Howard Lutnick. This is his former firm. Howard Lutnick, of course, is the the Commerce Secretary. And Howard Lutnick, his old stomping ground, now ran by his son, is going to invest $4 billion in a Bitcoin company. Now, there's reports that they're buying $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. You could say that's a yes or a no because they are acquiring $3 billion, but they're going to be trading some equity. So this is Brandon Lutnick, which is Howard's son. They're nearing a big Bitcoin acquisition through a SPAC merger targeting 30,000 Bitcoin from Blockstream Capital. Now, Brandon Lutnick is close to finalizing the deal to purchase the Bitcoin. This involves Cantor Equity Partners 1, a SPAC that raised $200 million in January. You guys might remember that. Tether was involved. And then Blockstream Capital. It's a crypto trading group founded by Bitcoin pioneer, crypto pioneer, Adam Back. Now, Blockstream has Bitcoin already, and they're going to contribute from their stash. They're going to contribute 30,000 Bitcoin worth $3.5 billion in exchange for shares in this new investment vehicle, which would then be renamed BSTR Holdings, Bastard Holdings there. I don't know why they went with that one. And I meant someone without a father.
Blockstream.
Oh, Blockstream. That makes a lot more sense. Not Bastard Holdings.
Yeah.
All right. But the deal is also going to have this is actually the bullish news because, swapping ancient whale wallet to a different, LLC, I don't know how much impact this is going to have on crypto, but the 800 million in additional outside capital for further Bitcoin purchases, this is very bullish right there. There's Howard Lutnick right there. And is this Brandon Lutnick? Celebrates was his father, right? Which one's Brandon?
I think that's Brandon right there. I believe.
And he got all the height genes, didn't he?
Let me see. Let me look. It could be the other one.
This guy kind of looks like him too. They got similar schnoggins there.
No, it's the guy on the left.
It is the guy on the left. He's got a Chad for a son, man. All right. Good job there. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say this is interesting. We were talking a little bit before the show. Obviously, MicroStrategy been kind of the darling of Wall Street lately. One of the fastest growing stocks. Just added to the NASDAQ. It's going to get into the S&P 500. Now Vanguard. It's interesting. Vanguard, who won't let their clients buy Bitcoin, one of the largest holders of MicroStrategy stock. Fascinating to me. But will 21 Capital pass? I think they will definitely heavily compete with MicroStrategy. I think this is a stock that I'm going to be acquiring just because of the positioning. Adam Back, for those of you who don't know, one of the probably more legitimate suspicions to be part of the group of people that were Satoshi. He fits into that category. He's been there from the very beginning. Blockstream, one of the main support vectors for Bitcoin. Some people would claim this is a potential attack vector on Bitcoin. I'm sure people would see it that way if they could compromise Blockstream in some way, shape, or form, or incentivize them to push things in different directions. They are the ones who do maintain the code base for the most part of the Bitcoin blockchain. Now, I do have a lot of faith both in Adam Back and Samson Mow. They've done an incredible job to this point. But seeing 21 Capital, CEO led by Jack Mallers, but realistically, I think the real power behind it is what you don't see. Jack Mallers is the guy out in front. He's a great spokesperson. He's really good for getting attention. He's really good for dramatic speeches and good comparisons and going on CNBC and doing a lot of the talking. Not going to disparage him in any way, shape, or form, but the power behind 21 Capital is Bitfinex, is Tether, is Cantor, is the big money, which if you back into it, realistically, Tether, USDT owns 70% of this entity. And if you combine Tether and Blockstream with the Commerce Secretary's business, it's a pretty powerful entity to be a part of. I don't see who could kind of compete with them. And I think MicroStrategy is great. I think they have a huge lead, but I think this is where you're going to see the difference between serious old money and what it can really do, what power can do versus money, in my opinion.
All right, someone's saying a White House official is posting the Powell fire. That's not true. That is not true. I just checked, unless it's like a long time ago here. But yeah, I'm scrolling back.
That's probably old, what they're talking about with the House Commerce thing, with them saying he's rumored to be stepping down. I don't think he's stepping down, guys. He's supposed to be done in 6 months or a year, I guess, May of 26. So most likely he's not going to do anything.
I don't see anything happening with that.
He'll cut in September. Markets will fly. He'll say he was right. Trump will say it was too late, but everything's going to be fine.
All right, now we do have just a little Adam Back lore I wanted to share with you, because people do think he created Bitcoin. That's right. They think he's Satoshi. There are some reasons here. Now, I don't know. Interesting theory. What's the guy that committed in the jail cell in Spain, and he had the hammock that he'd poop on the prostitutes? McAfee. John McAfee there. I'm sorry. That's just the stories that I was thinking of there. Killed the neighbor's dog, probably. John McAfee says it is Adam Back, and I'll tell you why he thinks that. So Back is a notable figure in the history of Bitcoin. He had a 1997 paper, and it was cited by Satoshi Nakamoto. It was all about cryptographic proofs. It became foundational to Bitcoin's proof of work consensus. Now, there's reasons people say Adam Back is Satoshi. The main reason, the number one reason, is two reasons. We'll give you two. You've heard the British spelling theory before, right, TJ?
Yes.
And so those who don't know, there's British spellings with Satoshi's writing. So an example would be flavor isn't spelled V-O-R, it's spelled V-O-U-R. And there's other examples like that. So they're saying, all right, well, the guy's probably British. And if you look at the cypherpunks, that only fits a handful of people. I think 3. I'm not entirely, maybe 2, maybe 4, but I think it's 3 people that it fits. The number 2 reason is there's a second thing. They have similar writing styles. That similar writing thing is double spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So Adam Back is known to use double spaces after periods in his writing, a habit that aligns with the typing style observed in Satoshi Nakamoto's emails. Do you know where the double space comes from?
I think it's just more traditional, right? That's a
that's a great word for it. It's old heads. This is what people would do with typewriters.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's, me, you, most probably the viewers at home, you probably don't use double spaces because you don't have a decade or 2 of typing on a typewriter with muscle memory. And so of the cypherpunks, only 1 uses British spelling and uses double spaces, similar to Satoshi. That one person is Adam Back.
Yeah.
So I put it at, there's definitely a chance it is him.
I'm always of the camp that it's not one person, and I would put it at a very high likelihood that he was a participant. You know, like
when it comes to like posting the white paper, do you think one person clicked the mouse?
Sure. Yeah. That's kind of what I would say. Like one person might have been writing, one person might have been doing more of the back end coding engineer, one person might have had the original concept, and like, I think my guess is it's some combination of Hal Finney, Szabo, Back. Who's the other guy who's not with? I can't remember the lot. There's basically 3 or 4 that it all kind of centers around. These are the most likely, and I think they all 4 of them played a part intentionally, so that way you can't pin it on any one of them. Which is what any smart, if you think about decentralization and you think about what the concept of Bitcoin was and how well people understood how decentralization could protect something, obviously it's not one person. They decentralized the creation of the founder, in my opinion.
Yeah, potentially. Now there might be some. Did one person choose 21 or 21 million, or was that like a group of people? There's definitely one. My guess is one person hit the mouse, as far as like submitting the paper. Sure. I don't think 4 people all hit the button at once, and they're all like in the room together.
It's Occam's razor. What's most likely, like obviously if you think about a project like this that starts with a small group of people, a handful of them have tried things like this in the past and failed, have studied it for a long time, and they feel like they've cracked the code and they know the implications of that. They're going to do a lot from an OPSEC standpoint to make sure that they can survive, because obviously you're threatening.
And that could be like, throwing in British spelling, like a lot of people in the
anything
chat are
could saying. That could just be to throw somebody off the trail. So
yeah. All right. Well, let's get back into the price action here. Now, we just saw a very, very good bullish signal, and I want to just kind of back test to see, well, what does this look like in the last maybe 2, 3, 4 times? The bullish signal we're talking about is the 3-day MACD crossover, moving average convergence divergence. Previous crosses, all but one, resulted in much higher prices. Time for the pattern to repeat. And let's shrink the RSI. Let's stretch this MACD here. And this is the MACD crossover that they're referring to. We're going to grab a vertical line. We're just going to do a couple here. We'll do that one. We'll do that one. And we'll do that one. Oh, I got to hit it twice, I guess. That does not work as intended. And then we have one right here. And we'll do one more, I suppose, right there. All right, so these are the MACD crossovers. This is what we're experiencing right now. Looks very, very bullish. Let's go back. This one, technically it should be right here. Also very bullish.
More bullish now. Yeah, look at that.
36 days. These are 3-day candles. So that's a 36-day uptrend. Whew, this one looks pretty good too. We have a 93-day uptrend. Yeah, 93-day uptrend. We'll go. This one a little bit shorter. Only, quote unquote, 30. Only pump for a month. Only pump for a month. Oh, man. And was that the last one? Yeah. So very, very bullish signal. Just crossed over. I don't know how far back you got to go before it to turn bearish, but to me, this is a very, very bullish signal in the sea of accumulation by institutions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is great advice, especially if this is your first cycle. You need to pay attention to this. The Bitcoin 500-day strategy still on track. Now, I'm not certain that you need to sell in 500 days. Starting to think maybe Q1, potentially Q2 2026 is going to be a cycle peak, before we get maybe a 6 to 12 month correction here. But this is the 500-day strategy. You buy 500 days before the halving, hold, do nothing, sell 500 days after the halving. You literally repeat. It's that simple, folks. Now, if you look at it, you bought here, you sold there. You bought here, you sold there. You bought here, And you're going to be selling in, I think this comes out to October. This is October for sure. So let's just measure it. I'm actually curious here. So when should you sell? I have the halving on here already. I believe I have removed it. Of course I did. All right. So if this is a good teaching lesson here. So up top is a thing called indicators. And then you just type in Bitcoin halving and it's going to pop up. Bitcoin halving events. Boom. And we got to shrink it because this is such a large time frame thing. Let's remove our vertical lines. These are the halving events. So we're going to count out 500 days from the most previous halving. And that's, you can see the different halves there, the haves and the have-nots. 500 days. And that is going to be, you need to, according to this metric, sell your Bitcoin. Going to be, it's so sensitive. One day after, it's actually September 3rd. September 3rd.
Or that's when Bitcoin traditionally a 4-year cycle could top out, which then altcoins usually run for another 30 or so days after that.
Yes.
And
thank you for the super sticker, Ryan.
Yeah. And I would say that is not maybe when you should sell your Bitcoin, but that's when traditionally the 4-year cycle will top.
Yes.
And if you're playing that, I don't know if I'm going to sell anything at the top this time. I'm starting to feel like with the scheduled buying, with the nation state FOMO, I think we'll be in a position to just hold it this whole time. But we'll see. I do have a question here from Super Chat from Music Tags. Would you wait a week to buy Pump or BlackHole? They're both up dramatically today.
I've heard some good theories on why Pump's going to pump. And the drawback on those type of launches sometimes only lasts 12 to 36 hours. You might need to start DCAing into Pump if you want to get in.
I would say the same. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Would I wait on Pump and BlackHole? No. If you like them and you want to acquire them, I think they're both going to be growing over the next few weeks. I do think we're in the part of the cycle now where you start to see that stuff happen. BlackHole, I'm looking at it to be basically like the aerodrome of Avalanche, which we've crushed on base. We've done well with Aave. We've done well with Curve. We've done well with a lot of these DeFi type things. Alex Becker and Elio Trades, both very big on YouTube. I'm sure you guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, you've probably heard of both of them or watched their videos. They're very involved in the Avalanche ecosystem, very involved with BlackHole. They will definitely bring a lot of attention to it. And they're on it right now. So yeah, I'd probably be accumulating those right now. We're going to be talking about it within our DeFi stuff. I think I literally made the decision yesterday. I made the call to convert some Avalanche into BlackHole and start testing that platform. Like I said, DeFi Crypto Airdrops, if you watch their channel, they've been interacting with it for a while. They've had info on the airdrop. But yeah, both of those I think could be strong performers over the next couple months.
All right. Well, there you go. There you go. So yeah, looking at that chart, maybe need to just get in. Now, this is an interesting metric because we always see Google Trends, but it's hard to find a graph overlaying the price. So this is what this does. Shout out to Crypto Rank. Bitcoin grew despite low public interest. Historically, price surges have been accompanied by spikes in the search trends. This time, new all-time high, while search interest remains relatively low. It's likely because current rally driven by large institutions. Once retail starts paying attention again, upside potential could grow even further. Let's look at the chart here. This is something I haven't really noticed. I was 10 years. Yeah, I guess that does. I think Google Trends only goes back 5. So, or you hit max. So you typically, sometimes you don't see this on a lot of charts, but yeah, big spike in 2017 compared to 2021. And if you draw a little line, maybe this is as high as we get. Maybe we don't ever hit, pass around this range, a little bit above 50 here. But you can see here, Google Trend, spike comes a little bit after. Trend, spike comes a little bit after. Trend, this one's a little closer, but still the spike came a little bit after. So, this one is actually backwards there. But yeah, so maybe this one, though, the price did spike a little bit after the trend. Look how low it is, though, historically. This doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? What do you think the next move is then? Is this Google Trend going to pump? Is retail ever going to start Googling it? Or they kind of maybe already know it? Yeah,
they will. I think we will see, especially once ETH hits all-time high, that Google Trends absolutely skyrocket. I will say, how far back is that going? 2018? Yes. Google search in general has been sliding because people are using AI search a lot more now. People are using TikTok to search a lot more now. People do not search on. It used to be Google was the end all be all of search, and they've seen that market share diminish dramatically.
Yeah,
in the
their
last,
AI waifu is teaching them everything now.
yeah, I mean, I grok way more than I Google. I ask grok questions. I don't Google stuff. So that being said, yes, retail interest is absolutely going to return. I did want to mention this because I am seeing chat talk about it. It is going quite viral on CT. There are comments about White House officials says President Trump likely to fire Jerome Powell. I still don't think it's going to happen. Even Polymarket odds. Look at this. Will Trump remove Powell in 2025? Just straight up line from basically approximately 16% to
Let's
almost.
get the fresh data here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Will Trump remove Jerome Powell in 2025? What was that number?
It was 34%.
It's up a little.
Yeah, still going up. But I mean, it was 15% a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, dip down pretty low not that long ago.
So,
yeah, 4 p.m. It was very, very low. So less than 24 hours ago.
yeah,
I'm still
calling BS. I think they circulate these rumors to create political pressure. I don't think it's gonna. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. But I don't know. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to see it happen.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, let's take a little Cardano, everybody. Cardano price predictions this week. I did a post, kind of went bonkers there. But ADA, so where's ADA going to be heading? We're looking at some of the same metrics. One of the one was going to be the MACD. So I wanted to pull up some TA. I did a short on this, and this is doing pretty well. So we got similar situation, 3-day MACD. We just did this with Bitcoin. Let me stretch this out a little bit so we can see it maybe a little bit better. MACD. So we're going to be looking at 3-day bullish crossovers. We're going to grab that vertical line one more time. If I can see there. All right, so boom, we got one right here. One right there. It's so annoying. I got to hit it twice. And then we got one right. I mean, I guess this would make you think it consolidated, then a huge pump, pumped a little bit. So not nearly as bullish as Bitcoin. Why do you think it's not as bullish as Bitcoin's signal is? Too easily manipulated, maybe?
Which one?
This is Cardano's 3-day MACD.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just think I think it's volume and liquidity. I mean, anything when you're talking about these type of data, the more inputs you have, the more accurate it's going to be. So I think TA works the best on Bitcoin. And as you go down the line, it still works. It just gets a little bit more challenging. That's my opinion.
All right. Now we do have some prices I did want to share with you guys. Let me back up to where it is at and right here. So this is going to be the next level to pay attention to. Oh, I remember what I want to show. So this, I haven't changed this yellow line. Look at that on the 4-hour. TJ, I looked at the 1 minute this morning. I am furious at myself for not just leverage trading shorts every time we hit this yellow line. Let's see. Okay. Now I don't feel so bad. Now I don't. This is what I saw this morning, though. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I drew that line on a 3-day chart, or maybe it was daily chart. I drew it a while ago, and these 1 minute candles just go into it perfectly. But you got to be, just as soon as people identify that trading, they're like, oh, I'm going to short next time we hit the yellow line. You get stopped out. So that's Cardano's price action in a nutshell there.
Yeah. And by the way, if you guys aren't in our Discord yet, we're having a lot of success with our trading group in there. There's both instructions and calls, both from Josh, DZ, Kelly, Drew. Kelly and Drew were doing a members only trading update in there this morning. Josh has been posting all of his trades for the 1K to GT3 challenge that he's been doing. So a lot of people in there doing really, really well. And there's tons of support. If you have questions, if you're wanting to get involved, just want to be in a group of people that are all trying to better themselves and grow within their crypto journey, that's the place to be. It's free to join. There's also a paid section if you want more insights and information. We teach you about DeFi. Actually, it's Wednesday. Yeah, we have a DeFi workshop going on this afternoon. So yeah, hop in there. It's good stuff. And DeFi crypto airdrops, there you go. It's teaching people DeFi in there as well. So it's good stuff. All right.
Now, I did say I want to share the alpha I shared in the Discord yesterday. If you're in the Discord, you remember you got the alpha first. I just shared I am swapping Cardano. I'm selling my ADA for Strike. And Strike crushed it. Strike is now up 18.63% today. If you don't know what Strike is, it is hype on ADA. And I saw that it was in a pullback, and I said, this is definitely an opportunity. And I don't sell ADA often, But when I sell my ADA, it's for something that's about to run. I gave you the snake pump. I gave you the strike pump. I think we first got in fairly early. And during this candle, I bought the dip. I don't know when exactly I bought. I probably should have remembered. I should have wrote that down. That one's on me. But yeah, we got in a very, very good entry, and we're up today. So shout out to everybody who followed that call in the Discord. I have one. This is just a better headline. The one huge mistake XRP holders must not make this bull run. The huge mistake, TJ, I just want to get your opinion on this. He said the worst mistake XRP holders can make, selling too early. Are they trying to use these people as exit liquidity?
Could be. I mean, I don't know. That's just such a subjective thing.
It is. It is so like vague and generalistic here. We go to XRP. So man, look at that. That bull flag just looks so good.
Looks like it played out.
Let's see here. Just make sure we need to get on regular because we're on log. All right, now we're talking. XRP still looks pretty good, man. Looks pretty good. Looks like, if this does play out, this bull flag pennant, I mean, you're getting a $5 XRP.
That's what we've been
all-time high.
We've been saying 589 this whole time. We've been saying it for 2 years, 3 years even. So yeah, I think 589 completely possible. And I think, if you're an XRP holder, you should be very excited. You were about 50 cents not that long ago to see something go from 50 cents to.
What about the XRP holder says $5 is chump change? Someone said $100, and I'm really feeling like $100 is where it's heading.
That's up to. I mean, if they want to believe that, that's their choice.
I don't want to crap on them too hard, dude.
Well, I'm just saying I've done it a bunch. Go do your research. Go read a little bit. I would say, but good luck. I want that to happen. I would love it if that happened for you. I just don't think $100 is going to happen. I think 589 is going to happen. Get excited about it. You just 10x your money in a year. Hopefully, if you didn't buy it $3. Even if you bought it $3, you 2x your money in a handful of years. Still not bad for traditional markets. So I want us all to win. We're going into that part of the cycle. It's okay for things to go up. If they have a different thesis, they're entitled to it, and I'm entitled to mine. 589 is where my prediction for XRP over the next 6 months.
All right, now 2 charts I want to share. Solana priced in Ethereum is putting in some lows here. So this is the amount of, one Solana is roughly 5% of an ETH. Got as high as about 10% of an ETH. And so maybe people are suggesting we might see a little bit of a reversal here. So if it does happen, you heard it here first. And then ETH, we just are so bullish today. We got to play the video. We always like to play when do not know your entire savings is in this man's hands. And of course, that's an AI generated Vitalik Buterin. Right. But man, it just looks so good, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
You kind of see him doing it.
I could see him being really good at something bizarre like that.
That's the good part, right there.
That is the good part.
The guy's so good.
It's about time for him to come out with some unhinged tweet, by the way. So keep your eyes out for that. Anytime Ethereum starts running, you get something random. I'm just kidding.
We can't even say the type of stuff he says.
We're definitely not gonna
definitely not. Definitely not. Like rhymes with
it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't. I tweeted that today, and some of the comments underneath it were like, "Yeah, it's probably going to be this." I'm like, "Oh my god, don't say that." But
Steve says that's how Isaac dances. No, that's how you act when you're about to hit the like button. You're going to be like,
"Yeah,
hit that like button."
Yeah, hit the like button. Leave us a comment. Tell us what your favorite altcoins are. We're getting back into doing deep dives on them again. So let us know if you have any coins you want us to do an update on. Where you think your favorite altcoin is going to go, and we'll start digging into it. But in the meantime, we're going to be in the Discord. We're going to be making that money and helping everybody in our community do the same thing.
Here's my Vitalik impression. What?